Breaking first at 4, they're $50,000 richer. The first winners of a Michigan's vaccination sweepstakes have just been announced, and there's a chance one could be your neighbor. Ben.
Karen, it is a warm and sweaty afternoon for most of us. Couple showers showing up, but a lot more tonight and tomorrow. We'll check it out for you straight ahead. Paula?
At 80 years old, Martha Reeves is not on fire. She is on fire. What's going on? We take a look at the iconic year for the music icon.
Local 4 News starts now with a breaking news alert.
Good afternoon. That breaking news, the first 4 winners have just been announced in Michigan's vaccine sweepstakes. Most are from the Detroit area.
And we hope that you will get your shot and register for your shot to win. Let's keep our loved ones safe and let's keep moving forward together.
Kimberly Gill in the newsroom with what we know about the winners and the prizes that are still up for grabs. Hey, Kim.
Hi there, Karen. This announcement was part of the daily $50,000 drawings taking place over the next month. 3 of the 4 winners are from Metro Detroit. They include Adrienne Peterson from Southfield, who says she's going to buy a new house with the money. Chris Ackerman from Detroit got his shot in the city because he's tired of wearing a mask, he says. Loretta Lee from Wyoming says she got vaccinated because of the sweepstakes, but she wishes she had done it sooner. And Amber Berger from New Baltimore is a registered nurse whose husband is a lieutenant with the Roseville Police Department. She says she witnessed the toll the virus could take when working in the COVID unit.
I got my COVID vaccine on July 1st at Henry Ford Hospital in Clinton Township, Michigan. And I got it for a couple of different reasons. One of them is because I want to go on vacation and to also help keep everyone safe.
There will be $50,000 drawings for each day in July, and the winners of the big prizes of $1 million and $2 million will be announced later. There are also 9 four-year scholarships available for people between the ages of 12 and 17. As of this morning, nearly 1.8 million Michiganders have signed up for the sweepstakes. If you haven't yet, we have the information on our website. Just go to clickondetroit.com. Of course, the goal is to get Michigan to that magic number, a 70% vaccination rate, and right now, just over 62% of eligible Michiganders have gotten at least 1 dose. So there's still a ways to go to get to that target. Karen, we'll send it back to you.
All right. Appreciate it. Thank you, Kim. Other news today, MDOT expects to reopen a single lane on northbound I75 in Troy today following Monday's tanker fire. The right lane on the southbound side of the freeway reopened Tuesday. Crews worked this morning to remove damaged concrete and resurface the freeway. The median was also replaced due to the damage caused by the heat. MDOT says complete repairs won't be completed until August. The northbound lane of 75 expected to open later this evening. We are learning more about a deadly shooting outside of a Detroit strip club. It happened overnight at the Dollar Bills Gentlemen's Club on Plymouth Road near the Southfield Freeway. Police say a 28-year-old man was shot in the parking lot. They say several people pulled the man into the club to help him and give him aid until medics arrived, but he died at the scene. Investigators are looking for 2 men last seen in a dark-colored SUV heading south on Longacre. Billionaires Dan Gilbert and Stephen Ross have dropped plans for a project at the failed Wayne County jail site. The over $300 million plan for the Detroit Center for Innovation was announced back in October of 2019. The Ross-led related companies announced today it will build the center anchored by the University of Michigan at another location in Detroit. Bedrock says it will develop a comprehensive innovation district at the Gratiot site. Details will be released in the coming weeks. Few showers out there, but pretty dry today. We want to keep it going so we can all enjoy a break and a nice evening, Ben.
Yeah, it's our really only one until we get to the back end of the weekend. Starting tomorrow, that's when those thunderstorms really start to get going for everybody. You can see a little bit of height on these clouds, but again, the vast majority of us are dry. It's plenty warm out there. Low and mid 80s for temperatures. Heat index readings as warm as 88, but we'll get well above that tomorrow. There's Storm Tracker 4. That's what we've been watching. Just a couple there, downpours that are starting to fade. Could be a couple more, but again, I think a lot of us are going to spend the rest of tonight dry. And then we start looking at the rain that's going to take us Thursday, Friday into Saturday. Some spots over 2 inches of rain expected. We'll talk timing on that and see when we can finally get some extended dry time in just a few minutes. Karen?
All right, thank you, Ben. It is a crisis that only got worse in the pandemic overdose. Deaths soared in the last year here in the U.S. We lost a record 93,000 lives in 2020, and that's an increase of nearly 30% from 2019. Opioids made up the majority of the deaths, with 70,000. Experts say COVID likely contributed to the problem, with more people in isolation and restrictions, making it tougher to get treatment. President Biden meets with Senate Democrats after they reach a deal on a $3.5 trillion price tag for an infrastructure bill. Now, this proposal is separate from a bipartisan bill on roads and bridges. That's still in the works. But it could set the stage for Democrats to pass reforms like expanding the child tax credit and offering paid medical and family leave. Progressive Democrats say $3.5 trillion is not enough, and some moderates say it's too much. Today, President Biden worked to sell the plan to the skeptics at the Senate Democratic Party lunch. Afterward, he struck an optimistic tone.
I have no comments, just saying it was great to be home, great to be back with all my colleagues, and I think we're going to get a lot done.
Senate Democratic leader Chuck Schumer acknowledged today that passing the spending plan with only Democratic votes will be a long process with bumps along the way. First at 4 this afternoon, we are on top of stories making headlines around the world. We begin in Cuba, where the country's foreign minister is blaming social media activists in the U.S. for the unrest there. Thousands of people protested over the weekend over food and medicine shortages, high prices on basic essentials, and more. Cuba's foreign minister accused an anti-government Twitter campaign for inciting people to riot. The Cuban government shut down internet access during the protests. The Biden administration is not intervening, but has expressed support for the Cuban people. Now to Italy. Pope Francis was discharged from the hospital and returned to the Vatican today. 10 days ago, the 84-year-old pontiff had surgery to remove half of his colon for a severe narrowing of his large intestine. It was a planned procedure scheduled for early July, when the Pope would typically take some time off. To say that music icon Martha Reeves is having a big year would be an understatement. She's about to get a huge honor, and she is showing no signs of slowing down. Paula Tutman joins us live this afternoon from outside Hitsville, USA, where the Motown legend got her start. And Paula, this is a big week for her.
Yeah, it's a particularly big week because she turns 80 years old on Sunday. There's a big soiree being held in her honor. But honestly, given the years she's already had so far, that's icing on the cake. There's something going on in the Martha Reeves co-fear, but don't call it a rediscovery.
No, I ain't never went nowhere.
But the truth of the matter is, she's exploding, and at 80 years old, loving every moment of it.
Seems like the older I get, seems like the bigger the places are. We've had festivals in England with 20,000 attending.
62 years ago, she walked into that studio on West Grand Boulevard, not realizing she would be one of the architects of the Motown sound.
Are you ready for a brand new beat? The door was never shut. There was always somebody making some music, either overdubbing or mixing or something, or writing or something. Barry turned his house over with the door open 24 hours a day.
And while she is still dancing in the streets, she's also still finding new roads to travel.
It's just wonderful how the music not only doesn't age, but it gets more and more exciting every year when you have a show and you have two generations of grandparents have brought their children and their children's children, and they all enjoy the Motown sound.
Melanie Green of 50 Entertainment is a writer, author, and producer.
She's still dancing in the street and dancing on stage as well. So she still has the moves as she had 60 years ago.
Martha calls her a fairy godmother, a producer who knows her way around the entertainment industry, and a fan. She realized the rich, full life of Martha Reeves needed another star. And so next year, she has worked on making sure Martha has her own star on the Hollywood Walk of Fame.
I played the Roosevelt Hotel on one occasion, and I came out a couple of times just to say hello to Eartha Kitt, who had just finished her engagement, and to see Joe Williams' big star in front of the Roosevelt Hotel. And just in my mind said, one day maybe I might get a star on the Walk of Fame.
She's absolutely explosive right about now. You know, everything is going really great You know, it lines up with her and what she wants to see as her legacy.
Melanie is producing a biopic movie based on her life. She's a major endorsement from the company that makes the tambourine she's been playing for more than 6 decades. Her cover on Our magazine is glamorous. She's doing gigs all over the country, and her performances are coveted all over the world. Yes, for Martha Reeves, at 80 years old, she has hit her stride once again. Not that she ever stopped.
That I'm a bird. I'm a bird. You don't have to ask the birds to sing. You don't ask them for a reason. They just know that they have to do God's will and sing. And that's what I am. I'm just a bird.
I'm just a bird. That, you know what? That just sounds like the title of a new hit song to me. Obviously, the big excitement is that star on the Hollywood Walk of Fame. Karen, I spent all day chasing after her. She is so fast. I mean, she moves so quickly. I had trouble keeping up with her. But also, the producer of her biopic told me a great big secret and swore me to secrecy. And I'm going to keep the secret, but I made her swear that she would tell me first. Trust me. Martha's year isn't stopping yet.
Wow.
She's got another big year coming up in about 12 months. Ah!
I like that tease. I like the tease. And you're right. Her energy is off the charts. A gem.
Big.
A true gem in our city. All right. Thank you, Paul. Appreciate it. Millions of people may find a big sum of money in their bank accounts in the next few days. Why the IRS is refunding even more of your tax money and who can expect it. Britney Spears will be back in court to fight her 13-year-long conservatorship. What she is set to ask a judge in about 20 minutes. And witnesses pull a woman from a flipped car in a canal. Why that driver was arrested after her